Welcome to FBN Multimedia's PSVR. Sony has had a long history of experimentation with the tools that make up the current virtual reality package. Today I'll briefly cover the different relevant peripherals, because I had them all. Back in 1994, Sony had the Guncon for PlayStation. It was a light gun controller, similar to those found on many other systems. It had limited support with few more than 10 games. The accuracy was decent for the time. It had limited functionality beyond pointing at the screen and pulling the trigger. In 2000, the Guncon 2 was released for the PlayStation 2. The controller was redesigned, but still a light gun, relying on the television screen for all its information. Again, only 10 or so games were released for it, but the PS2 had more in store for consumers. In 2003, the PlayStation Eye toy was released. This camera, with a built-in microphone, allowed users to get up and move. The games released with it was a collection of minigames like washing windows and slapping ninjas. They were fun games, and the system, while not perfect, performed as advertised. But the world wanted the interactions that sci-fi promised us, and the iToy wasn't it. It ended up with less than 20 titles released, though it was used by several games, notably sports games, for you to create your own player avatar using the picture from the iToy for years after. In 2007, the Guncon 3 was released, this time for the PlayStation 3. It was still light gun technology, but it added two LED emitter packs that you placed near the television. This greatly improved accuracy, but it was still the clunky plastic gun tethered to the system by a cable. Less than 5 games supported it, but there was a reason for that. Sony had a new player in the wings, the PSI. With much greater resolution and sensitivity, a 4-capsule microphone array, and 2 viewing modes, the PSI, Sony's new camera for the PS3, took over the peripheral hotspot. It was paired with Eye of Judgment, a card game with physical cards and a playmat that you used with the PSI to play an augmented reality game, where the cards came to life. PSI had over 30 titles to support it. And then, in 2010, PlayStation Move hit the scene. Using the PSI that so many had already bought, the Move system allowed for real-time accurate sensing of controllers in 3D space. Move it up, turn it, flip it, the system knew what you did and responded. Suddenly, everything was Move. Sony mandated that all games from that point on would support it. Remember those light guns? Well, add an attachment and the Move controller is a pistol. Add a navigation controller and you had a sci-fi looking rifle. Accuracy like you wouldn't believe made playing games like SOCOM a whole new experience. On a more sedate game, Tumble allowed you to place blocks of different materials in a 3D-aware stacking game. On-rails shooters abounded, and you could even operate the PS3 menu system with the Move controller. When the dust settled, over 160 titles supported the Move. Which brings us to now. PlayStation Virtual Reality. Hey sci-fi? Thanks for the idea. We're here. PlayStation VR hit the shelves, then was quickly grabbed off the shelves. It's popular, it's all over the world, and it's here to stay. With over 80 titles already, though some are more experienced in game, PSVR is off to a running start. More titles arrive on the PlayStation Store each week, of varying length and quality. Many of those titles support the Move controller, though not the navigation controller as of yet. And many of them have rock-solid tracking. And with the last update, Sony added the ability to watch 3D Blu-rays in VR. It's been a long road since the Guncon back in 1994, but each iteration of the virtual reality idea, each blending of the real world and the game, has brought us closer to this. And in the future, we'll be seeing the AIM controller, Sony's new blending of Guncon and Move. The reviews are positive and the accuracy of tracking is said to be beyond belief. It's launching with Farpoint, a Starship Troopers-style alien sci-fi shooting exploration game, due out in May. And yes, I have pre-ordered it. Also due out in May is Star Trek Bridge Crew, where you can actually pilot a starship or man the tactical or engineering panels. Check out the video with LeVar Burton if you want to know how good it is. Why tell you this? I'm launching this series to cover the new PSVR. I have it, I use it, and I love it. Future episodes will be more along the Let's Play style of video, and I'll show you some of the titles on offer and give you my take on them. I didn't just report Sony's VR history. I lived it, owning every one of the devices I've talked about. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time with gameplay footage and commentary.